Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is April 4, 2023, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Apple stock takes the market and leads the way higher. But first, looking at the major economic events of today. So earlier this morning at 6:30 a.m. South African time, out of Australia, we had an RBA, Royal Bank of Australia, had a rate statement. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. Looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, US dollar weakens and gets to resistance versus the GBP. And looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ continue to push higher. And as we look at commodities, gold rebounds back to its highs or close to it, while oil holds on to its gains. Now looking at the stocks, as mentioned, the tech stocks lead the way higher, and they're still showing some tremendous strength. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, unchained. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're going to take a look at the Euro USD first, and then we're going to gravitate to the other ones. But look at what's happening here. We're just about to hit that resistance at 110-ish level, as you can see here. So with that said, we're going to keep a very sharp eye, because if the US markets continue going higher, the dollar is going to get weaker and the euro is going to get stronger, and it's going to push above this 110 level. Now looking at the GBP USD, where it gets even more interesting. Look at that. On its highs and a nice little follow-up through it. So this is really a telltale sign. If it does break above this 124.5, we could see it go to 26, maybe even 130. Hold on with that, okay? I'm not going to celebrate too fast, but I don't want to see my confirmation. And it's all like little pieces. The Dow Jones has to continue going up, and the NASDAQ, and then I'll see the dollar getting weaker and the GBP and the euro gaining versus the US dollar. Now jumping into the Australian dollar this morning, rate statement came out, and look at what's happening. Rallied beautifully this morning up to its highs of resistance of 67.90-ish level, and then now correcting itself just a bit. But with that said, we may see some future correction because we're breaking that 200-day moving average, at least on a 4-hour chart and also on a daily chart. So this gets a little bit interesting at this stage as it's kind of making its way back and breaking above the 2 moving averages. So this is something to keep of note later today, especially if it gains more. Now looking at commodities, gold bouncing back to its highs, 1982. Okay, it's about $20 off of its highs. When I say highs, I'm talking about the high of its range, and that is where we're at right now. If it does look like it's going to continue going up, take a look at it, because we're watching the GBP gain versus the dollar. We're also watching the euro gaining versus the dollar. And with that said, that means that the dollar is getting weaker. So when you're buying gold, you're selling dollars. So it doesn't say gold USD, but that's really what it is, right? Because if you're buying gold, you're selling dollars, and that's implying that the dollar is going down. So keep that a note right here. Now looking at the US markets, trugging along. We're at 33,796 on the Dow Jones, and we're at 13,254 in the NASDAQ, and it's big tech taking it higher. And this time it was Apple that took us higher. If we take a look at Apple, we're going to see that quite clearly. Let's look at a daily chart. Boom, 166, bounced right above it and continued pushing higher. Now, looking at the other major technology stocks, yeah, they gained. Not as greatly, but they gained. Facebook continues to chug higher, only about $3 a share there that it chugged higher. But continuous buying. That's a trend. You don't have to make $1 million every single day. If you make $3 every single day, just on 300 shares, that's great. That's $1,000 every single day. And look at that. It's just continuously going up and continuously getting stronger. Now looking at Microsoft, also continued its gains and extended that gain. If you look at Cisco and Intel, still very strong as well. So keep that in mind. Intel kind of tapering off at its high here, but they're still very strong, which are leading the markets even higher. Now lastly, looking at Bitcoin, not doing much. Again, just trading between those two parameters. Every time it hits somewhere at $27,000-ish, it goes higher. Every time it hits $28,800-ish, it goes lower. Just still trading in that range. So I don't expect it to change, at least for now. But what if it does break out? You've heard the recording before. If it does break out, it's going to get kind of interesting. This is Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.